Well, hello everybody. Pastor Roberto Bruno, pastor of the Central Apostolic Church. Here we are again on another Friday, praising the Lord and thanking God that we have had another week of life. I pray you had a short week. Maybe you had Memorial Day off. So I pray that you had an extra amount of time off. If not, well, thank you for your service on Monday and working. On these videos, it seems like, or maybe it's just always in my mind, always thinking about time and time going by. I always say, oh, another month has gone by, or oh, we're already in the middle of the year, and time is something that we just cannot stop. Now, it does matter what we do with it, but we cannot stop the progression of time. I heard this thought from someone, and so it's not original, but we all have to decide what we're going to do with the time that we're given. We all like to think that we're going to live to the ripe age of 100, or that we actually have tomorrow to get started, or tomorrow to work out the problems, or tomorrow to go to therapy, or tomorrow to start school. But in reality, we have to decide what we're going to do with this time that we don't know when it will cease, right? We don't get to choose how long, we're here, or, how many years that we even have left, right? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I hear some things sometimes, because I'm like 60. Well, I probably have like 10 more summers left. It's like, yikes, that's not a whole lot. That's not a whole lot of summers. And so if it's even that long. So we really are, we should really be mindful with what we have. We know that every day is a gift, easily taken advantage of when we're young, right? Because we just don't think of those things. But we when it comes to life, we don't, we just don't get to choose, like I already said. We can't rewind it, we can't pause it, we can't skip hard chapters. We just have to, we just get what we get. And in this moment, this breath that a lot of people waste, their time. And it might be because they're waiting for everything to be perfect, or they need clarity or permission to, move on, to, I don't know, follow the dream, to do something, find a relationship, whatever it is. And eventually, there's a lot of people who wake up in life, years, decades later, they wake up in a life and that they can't even recognize themselves, and they're surrounded by people that, don't even see them, don't even hear them, and wondering why hasn't anything changed. There's a responsibility. It's more of an opportunity, a privilege to have another day of life. I know I could get into saying, how many people are in the ICU and they'll never wake up, but it's true. And so I just want to encourage you, beloved, that that time doesn't ask us if we're ready or not. We need to seize the day, right? We need to seize the time and say, today's the day that I have. I've waken up, I've got 24 hours, you got 24 hours. What are we going to do in the 24 hours? Some people say, I don't have time for anything. I go to work, I'm so tired, I fall on the couch. I get it. and some have the same 24 hours, and they'll go to work too, and maybe they'll study, maybe they'll read a book, maybe they'll work out, maybe they're building something, maybe they're creating. The thing is that, you know, if we're waiting to be ready, we may never be ready. Because, you know, God has a plan for us. God has ordered our steps. God's given us giftedness. God's put us in the circumstance that we're in, the place, the city, the family, the time, the generation, all of that. Because if we like it or not, time moves with or without us. You know, we could say, you know, dag nabbit, I'm staying put. I know this company's changing. I know this family's changing. But no, I'm going to keep doing the same thing. I'm going to use my flip phone. I'm going to, you know, use my dial-up internet. And, you know, hey, you may want to be stuck, but time and things progress. It moves without us, beloved. And we have to ask ourselves, you know, because this is our only life that we have, then we get what we're going to do with it. You know? I mean, I know there's some other belief systems that we keep coming back, but I think we need to decide, if I just get one bite of the apple, then what am I going to do with it? You know what I mean? And I think that's where God helps us. That's where we get some creativity. We get some chutzpah, right? We get some oomph to do something. Yeah, we may not have money. We might not be educated. We don't have support. There might be a lot of things, but there are still choices that we can make. We could serve the Lord. We could give our hearts fully to Him. Oh, well, I want to work out, but I can't afford a gym membership. Then go for a walk. You know, go for a run. You know, oh, I don't have any money for school. You know how many learning programs or classes or whatever are online or on YouTube? You know, to become a mechanic, to become a data processor, to become with, beloved, we don't need excuses. We don't. What we need is some motivation and also some encouragement. How's the gospel message going to be out? How are we going to reach the world for the kingdom? How are we going to allow God to unfold in our lives? If God's given us a call of prophecy, a call of evangelism, a call of teaching, whatever the call is, but we're sitting around and waiting for a burning bush or a lightning bolt, and beloved, we're going to miss it. We're going to miss the train, you know? And I determined a very long time ago, after missing about two big opportunities as a young, foolish minister, that these entities never asked me again to come and participate. I learned these two things, that any opportunity that comes up is of God, and everything is worth exploring. Everything is. If it's doing a Google search on a school or something, beloved, I just want you to be encouraged. I want you, because we live in a society that is, this is just my opinion and what I've seen, a weak society. I know there's strong people out there. I know there's strong young folks that are determined and dedicated. But overall, we live in a really soft generation. And where are the champions of the gospel? Where are the champions of our fields? Whatever you work in, me in spiritual care, maybe you in construction, or you in law, or you in medicine, or you, like, where are the champions? Are we going to be like the rest? You know, we have to ask ourselves, what am I going to do at this time? You know, like, who are you when nobody's watching? Because when nobody's watching, that's who we really are. I'm not saying like we're shady and doing shady things, but we are who we are when nobody is watching us. And so I just want you to be encouraged, beloved. John 9:4 says this, as long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. Eventually we run out of time. If we just get too old, or we get sick, or something. So I encourage you, beloved, let's seize the time that we have. Let's embrace it, and let's go forward for the kingdom, but also for ourselves and family. God bless you.